Yeah, no. I'm not finishing all of the Sonic Heroes stories, at least before making this video. Basically, it's replaying the same stages 4 times, but with some variations. Like harder or easier, or doing machines with basically the same playstyle. And this time with little download variations, like some abilities are gone. Maybe I wouldn't mind replaying this game 4 times if there wouldn't be problems with controls, or at least what this game is. That makes harder to control characters, and annoying glitches that can lead to that, like the clip and drag touch panels. But more about them later in the video. And okay, it probably will be easier to play with a controller instead with the keyboard. I haven't checked if controllers that I have are working on the new laptop, because I use it on the old laptop and there were problems with it. Sure, could have been problems with old laptops on the keyboards, but because the new laptop has only 2 OCP ports, I don't want to mess with them. The mouse is already taking one of them. And because Sonic Heroes is an old game, I'm not sure if it will take the controller. Anyways, about the game. And of course I downloaded a complete save file to check the final boss, but after it I tried completing the rest of the stories in my save file. But because of annoying stuff, I figured out to at least raise a script, if not drop the game completely. Sonic Heroes was developed by Sonic Team USA and published by Sega at first for PlayStation 2, Xbox and Game.com, but later ported to Windows and PlayStation Network. And of course I played Windows version.
Long time no see!
Sonic, check this out!
Guess what, Sonic Heroes?
Chocolate!
What's wrong with you?
It's here! We've got work!
Of course, each team is its own premise when the game story is split into 4 parts, so I guess I'll share each team's premise. And without spoiling it, I'm not sure about the overall premise. Then again, I haven't completed the game, so I don't know all of the story. Well, I watched the rest of the cutscenes on YouTube, but still, with that I miss a dialogue in every stage from every team, except from Team Sonic, so there are gaps for me about the story. So anyway, the premise of every team. Team Sonic was challenged by Eggman, and so they accepted the challenge to try to stop Eggman. Team Dark's premise is that Roach infiltrates one of the Eggman base and finds Shadow in a capsule and wakes him up, and at the same time a robot called Omega pops up and starts attacking Shadow. After Rogue stopping both of them, it's found out that Shadow doesn't remember from the past, so Roach figures out to make a team with Shadow and Omega to look for Eggman. Team Rose. Amy was just wondering where Sonic ran off to, while Cream and Big are worrying about missing Chocolate, Shadow and Froggy, in which from what they ate, which so they were together with Sonic. So while trying to follow Sonic, because Amy wants to, they also are looking for Chocolate, Shadow and Froggy. Team Chaotix are tactic, which includes Vector the Crocodile, SPH's Jump Melon and Charmy Bee. So they get directed to a detective shop. However, a SPU is suspicious about a client or about a job from the client. So, I guess the overall premise is something connected to Eggman. Doing something about Eggman. Because I haven't finished the game, then maybe I can talk, but I think the story is just fine. Well, it is interesting enough to complain just one story. Or maybe between stories take a pause and then continue other stories. Well, most of the dialogues is just fluff. There's little to none into a post story. Then again, from a little storytelling there is, the plot twist is interesting. Which I still remember, I guess, from watching Let's Play out of these games, of course. And watching cutscenes, it refreshed my memories. Maybe if I didn't know about the plot twist then maybe it will be another reason why I will be trying to complete other stories by binge playing. But I'm not fully sure about it. So overall, I think the story is basic, which is fine. So then what about the gameplay?
This is the leader automatically changes when you go through this gate.
Here we go.
You're in speed formation when the character in the blue symbol is the leader. First, press. You see the next, when the
As you already saw and continue seeing, you play as 3 characters in every story. So because of that, the gameplay is basically the same in all 4 stories. Each character has their own specialty. Speed character is about speed, of course, and can top and find attack, arming attack and light dash. And for some teams, some of these are missing. Flying character is about, of course, about flying, reaching higher grounds or flying over massive gaps. Only their short flight duration and attacking flying enemies by using teammates. And lastly, power characters, which is of course about power. Well, not just about power. Sure, power character is also for fighting tough enemies and also using teammates, but also breaking obstacles, which can also be done by using teammates, and gliding over ground once to reach higher grounds. So to balance around playing as a team, then in this game enemies don't die from falling. So only attack can't always work. And in some locations, paths are blocked by enemies, so you need to defeat to unlock those support. About teams, there is also a team plus feature, which can be also the feeling apart, which basically destroys enemies, regular enemies, but each team is a slight difference. So now about the slight difference between teams. Team Sonic is normal difficulty, Team Dark is hard difficulty, but somehow I earned a lot of lives in it than Team Sonic later. But then again, Team Star's playthrough is less than half. I guess replaying stage helps, and that's how Sonic games are supposed to be played for more fun. But I don't know if it's good edit to upload it for story progression. Anyways, about the difference between teams. Team Bros is easy difficulty, N is a tutorial. When a tutorial was available before the team selection screen. Really? Why is there a tutorial twice? And the team roles isn't first in the list. Like when playing in order from either side, team roles is either third or second story. So in either cases, even the tutorial would be too late. Plus it is annoying to do a tutorial for a second time for opening the tutorial by themselves, like I did. Well, I did it to figure out keyboard controls. Thankfully, you can skip tutorial dialogue, but still that is bad game design. When the tutorial appears too late and players make to do it for a second time. So because this game is a Sonic game, then probably players will lean towards the team's Sonic story first, and then will play stories in that order. If they will touch other team stories, so tutorial being in the improv story is too late. About easy mode being the third option, I'm not sure about that. Maybe it is useful to read those burnout of the game if a player is burnout. Of course, I didn't forget about Team Chaotix. Chaotix? Yeah, I guess that is. It's mission mode, like restoring all robots, which can be annoying if you can't find the lesson. Save Chao, destroy some robots, collect enough awesome stuff, and maybe other missions. Maybe this mode also can reduce burnout because you won't be needing to complete all of the stage. Of course, it might get annoying when the opposite situation happens running the stage twice or more to find missing stuff. And of course there is a final story on to unlock it. I get from outside of the game, but also you can quest by playing the game because there are special stages. There are two types of special stages. Both have time limits, which can be increased by collecting orbs or whatever they call it. The first one is just reaching the goal. The second one is catching up with a Chaos Emerald. Oh, and of course you are turning inside of the tomb. What special stage I get into? They were easy. The only problem is auto-adjusting. It can be annoying or even tedious. After finding a key, you can't beat it until you finish the stage. So if you get it once, then the key is gone. Thankfully, there are at least 2 keys in stage, so for an easier time, it's better to get the second key. Or maybe play as Team Chaotix, and get a key when there is a little amount of stuff left to get Chaos Emeralds. Because you need to collect each Chaos Emeralds on your phones. So yeah, it can be tedious to replace the same stages in the same order, or maybe even in different order with little variations, but I'm not sure with different order. Like knowing this, I checked other stories when I didn't complete the Steam Sonic story to confirm that I'm right, and I was right. So while I was struggling with Team Sonic story, then I tried playing other teams' stories to figure out should I drop the game and write the script or complete at least Team Sonic story before writing the script. And here I am writing the script. Okay, now recording the video voiceover when I finish the Team Sonic story, but not other teams' stories. Anyways, back to the gameplay. I was frank that this game is auto-scrolling both ways in Sonic Advance video, and even when I implied about this game having auto-scroller both ways. But both ways whole genre is auto-scrolling both ways. But there aren't just both ways. There also are the impulses, which, at least in some cases, were just randomly started story phase. And lastly, robot swarms, or whatever they are, just fighting robots in multiple phases. So yeah, these boss fights, in air quotes, aren't a lot of fun, especially when you hold threat to them 3 more times. He found it along the final story. Of course, they also come collecting Chaos Emeralds. And I just did all of the boss fights in Edgecourt feels the same. Of course, it differs for each category. That each category of boss fights in Edgecourt feels like a category of a boss fight in Edgecourt. Like regular boss fights feel samey, and then team battlefields same me, and watched robots feel samey. In some boss fights there are unavoidable attacks. So yeah, these boss fights don't increase the game's quality.
Not bad.
Always on the keyboard, the control sucks. Okay, sure, the keys that show up in add elements works, but because keys are too far apart, then other keys that are closer to each other works also. But even with that, keyboard controls are annoying, and there are also mouse controls, which are more annoying to play, especially when I play with Dharma. Otherwise, I couldn't record the game footage, and maybe that's why there is graphical glitch in Edgecourt from the footage. So that's why I said it will be easier to play it with a controller, but I'm not sure if it will be a lot of help. Because there are problems with moments in the game. Like predators are uncontrollable under 8 century speed, and so with that you can't avoid getting damaged or going into a bottomless speed. Okay, thankfully the latest part didn't happen, but it is a possibility. But something like that can happen from mis inputs. For example, funding to a feint attack, which can be done from air. The game thinks I found to like dash rings that are on the ground, which let me off platform. And the vice versa can happen. Found to like dash the rings that are in the air, but the game figured that I found attack the enemy which is a fail lower than me. Speaking about like that, teammates can drain AP before starting by collecting resistant ferment for like that. Okay, in other times it was helpful when teammates collected rings. But when I'm in speed formations and rings are placed in like dash order or formations, then teammates shouldn't go directly into rings. Another thing about mis inputs is that a lot of objects are bound to font key, and unlike in adventure games, which I had forgotten, you can switch around that I change the key filter. Again, like dash as example. I need to specifically face rings and need to be close enough to them. Otherwise, some form or spin dash happens which you can control. Yeah, for some reason the spin dash in this game is uncontrollable, which is easy to accidentally start. In some instances, army attacks can arm you off platform into a bottomless pit. Also, in some instances, controls self-floating. Of course, this game includes riding on rails, but they are bad. Sure, by holding directions and then jumping, you can say choice, but sometimes that doesn't work. Then you jump and then you are time to return to the rail and then fall into a bottomless pit. In some instances it seems you can soft lock because one character is missing, and then that character is needed to progress the stage. At least in early game it seemed that visible was out. This still might be a problem when you play the game enough. It can happen. that it's hard to see. In some instances, you can easily clip drag objects. Some could be output, some could give you unwarranted when the shutter clips through a dash panel. Sometimes the camera inculcates when I tried changing to free camera mode, it still didn't get fixed. In some post fakes, the post fakes can attack me while I'm in the air, over a bottom speed, or I could launch it into the post well over a bottom speed. And put enemies overall when touching them without attacking, then it bugs are larger the models. By the way, in the notes, I add threaded sprites instead of models for some reason. Rainbow rings can lead to your text, so you need to go the longer way. The image jumping of platform when you get sent off platform. In stage that will be nothing, but when that happens in the impulse, it is annoying because when a character is defeated, then the character you control is changed to living one automatically. When ending a false, it bounces. Some of these add artificial difficulty to the game, and because of this, it can lead to the rage. So yeah, these are the reasons why I complete only one story before writing the script. And you know what? While I did finish the Team Sonic story, I was wondering if there is infinity mode, and there is, but they didn't answer. While trying to do other stories, I was wondering if there is mode that lets me complete stage without getting damaged, or completing stage in other ways. Either way, I couldn't find these kind of mods.
I'm counting on you guys.
Rouge. What? Excuse me, what did you mean with that? Keeping the along going in that way, of course there is a May upskirt, and also cream upskirt. However, Ellsworth, there are upskirts even in cutscenes. For me, those. I'm just stating the facts. And I'm surprised they are in the game when American team made the game. This game is bobsled and rally. Both work the same and are only in a few stages. Even though Team Turkey's art mode, there is separate art mode unlockable, for which you will need to replay more than 4 times. And it adds another time that you will be replaying same stages who are interested in the game that you are fine replaying the game for uncountable time. Even with some difference, just a difficulty change, making the player to replay the stage to know the story wasn't a good idea in my opinion. Or maybe if the game worked properly, then it wouldn't be tedious to play the same stage 4 times, not counting the trace in every story to progress the story of the game. The gameplay idea, playing as a team, is interesting concept, but how it is executed, well, it could be better. Or maybe it would be fine if problems like glitches were fixed. Either way, boss fights still would get tedious. So yeah, sure, maybe it will be less annoying to play with a controller instead of keyboard, but when a game is available on computers, then it should be possible to play it with a keyboard. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, like the video, subscribe and comment. See you next time.